The immortal John Hancock, back again with the second part of my PlayStation Longbox collection. Now, in the previous video, I showcased the first 51 games of the collection. I do have some of the variations. I don't have all the variations. So, without further ado, the second part of my PlayStation Longbox collection. And again, these are in loose alphabetical order. You can alphabetize them a couple different ways, so if you notice a game's out of order, hey, you just organize it any way you want. So I'm just trying to showcase the collection. I saw that on YouTube there wasn't anybody showcasing the entire collection and showing one game at a time. So here we go. Need for Speed. Sometimes when you search for this game, you would have to type in Road and Track. Sometimes that's how I found my copy. And so, yeah, there you go. And again, in my previous video, I showed the different case variations. This is a smooth case. So, there you go. NHL Face-Off. This was a EB Games score. EB Games, this is a while ago, like 10 years ago. They had a bunch of PlayStation games that are clearancing out. Look at that, $1.49. It's kind of like how, you know, you find, I don't know, you find current games like Wii games pretty cheap. This definitely, definitely a good score. Nova Storm. Off-World Interceptor Extreme. You have Panzer General. You have PGA Tour 96. You know, the PlayStation Longbox collection has a lot of diverse titles, a lot of different genres. It really showed the strength of the PlayStation. We have Philosoma, kind of a odd shooter. You have PO'd. You have Primal Rage, kind of a great fighting game. I enjoyed playing that back in the day. You have Power Serve 3D Tennis. I'm sure that was a chart topper. And Psychic Detective. This one's pretty hard to get. It's definitely an odd title. Alright, next up, the very well done The Raiden Project. Excellent shmup for system. Recommend. Rayman. It's a great title. This is a really good game. Nice to see that people are now remembering that title. The original Resident Evil. Resident Evil. That's my best version. Return Fire. You know, you notice this is that a lot of titles, some 3DO games got their own versions on the PlayStation. It's kind of cool because some of 3DO's good titles were able to be ported over. Revolution X. All right. Ridge Racer Classic. Not a classic. Rise to Resurrection. Ooh. And one of my favorite Longbox games, huge fan of the series, is Road Rash. And I remember Soundgarden being on the soundtrack. And I played a lot of the 3DO version, but the PlayStation one's as good as well. And again, like I talked about, there's a bunch of goodies. There's the the foam insert. I have, you know, warranty card, and EA did like a you know, promotion flyer, showed all the stuff that they did or published, and then the manual. I'm a huge fan of Road Rash, so just a classic, to me it's a good fun popcorn title. And what I mean by that is just a game that you can sit down and play. You don't have to think too much, and I like that. I like that in a game. Good action title. Alright. Next one, which you have to think on quite a bit. This Romance 4. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4. Wall of Fire. Shockwave Assault. Another classic. Shell Shock. Interesting title. Alright. Next. This is a pretty hard game to get now. Silverload. We have Skeleton Warriors. Slam and Jam 96 featuring Magic and Kareem. You know, still in the 90s, you know, sports titles were everywhere still, so you can totally see how those could be just popular. Space Griffin VF9. This is another hard one to get complete. You know, again, here's a case, and what you notice here, I'm sure you probably notice, is these sometimes come unglued, and there's ways of gluing them back on. I didn't want to damage any type of adhesive, like if I did it wrong, or I don't know. There's a couple different schools of thought. Do you just let it be like that, or do you try to glue it on? I don't know. It'd be pretty hard to stay attached. I'm sure there's ways of doing it, but I didn't want to damage the paper by putting an adhesive on it, so I'd rather keep it original. So, Starblade Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha, the terrible Street Fighter the movie with the original KB sticker on it. Good old KB. Striker 96. There were so many soccer games made in the 90s. It's crazy how many soccer games there was. It's cool though. I love soccer. Now this next one. This is a pretty tough title to get now. They made it in both the CD and Longbox. It was during the transition. Tecmo World Golf. And you play 101 courses in Japan. And it's just a bizarre title to be released in the States. This is tough to get, and a complete copy for sports games. This one's a hard one to track down. Just a heads up. We talked about I talked about in the previous video about variations, and I have two for Tekken. I was a huge Tekken fan back in the day. Not so much now. I mean, fighting games just kind of, to me, have lost their great appeal. I mean, I'm a huge Neo Geo fan, but for 3D fighters, I was a big Soul Calibur and Tekken fan. And Tekken was released. There was a couple variations of it in the Longbox. This is the standard Longbox case that the Sega CD and Saturn games used. But then I also have the smooth box, so just another variation. You know, on PlayStation, Tekken 3 is my favorite, but this is the one that started it, and pretty awesome. Alright, next up, Terry Pratchett's Discworld. Great game. We have Theme Park. Thunderstrike. Alright. Next up is Top Gun, Fire at Will. Total Eclipse Turbo. With my $1.99 sticker that I good old GameStop. And Triple Play 97. Next up is probably the Longbox game I played the most of, behind Road Rash. I played a ton of Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal, the original, was so fun. And again, I played Twisted Metal 2 even more. And I do have two variations of it. This is the smooth box. And then there is the ridged boxed. And again, variations are fun to collect. I don't have the money to go after all the variations. I'd love to have variations I don't have. It's just money, you know, it comes down. One thing about collecting everything is I have a budget like everybody else. I'm not made of money, so, oh, oops. Alright, next up, VR Soccer 96. Viewpoint. I like the $5 firm price sticker on it. I think it's V-Tennis. Kind of an odd title. And this is another amazing Longbox game, Warhawk. I was a fan of Warhawk. I like Warhawk. Warhawk I played a lot of. Yeah, so for me to get into PlayStation, the titles that sold me on the system early on were Warhawk, Twisted Metal, Road Rash. I mean, those are the games. I wanted to get a PlayStation, but you know, I had to wait. You know, like everybody else is. Didn't get it at launch. Nope. So we have the Williams Arcade Greatest Hits. This is a good compilation. And my favorite game of all time is Robotron. It's a good version of it. Next one is there's a variation of this. This is the without the, I think, the slip cover. This is Wipeout. So there's an expensive version of this with a slip cover, and it goes for a little bit. It's pretty hard to get. I don't have it. I'm a huge Wipeout fan, so good racing game. And then the awesome Wing Commander 3 Heart of the Tiger. Important to know with this game that had 3 discs. No, correct me if I'm wrong. 4 discs with 1 extra. It had 4 discs. That's right. Make sure you have all the discs when you get that one. And then you have a Wing Commander 3 reference card. You will need that. And then the manual. What a great game. Really nice to see a slight resurgence in those types of games. That's fun. Those are fun. Need to see those. Alright. To finalize the final list of the games. So you had Tecmo World Golf. And then you had World Cup Golf. I mean, it's just crazy how many sports titles came out back in the day. This is one of my last titles I needed for the set. I think it was just because I was not really excited about having to track that one down. Next one, WF WrestleMania, the arcade game. I'm actually a fan of this game. It's pretty fun to play. I do believe... Yep. My favorite playing on this game is Doink the Clown. I don't know why. It's just fun. XCOM UFO Defense. Amazing game. Another classic PlayStation Longbox game. Good version. And then we have Zero Divide. Kind of a forgettable fighting game, if I remember correctly. And the last one, and not the least, but definitely meh, is Zoop. So there you have it. there is a PlayStation Longbox set. Like I said, comment below. I am going to be showcasing some more subsets for PlayStation. It's going to be a bit for some other ones. Anyways, I look forward to doing much more content. My apologies, messed up. And thank you so much for watching. This is, again, kind of an informal overview. I did a little bit different this time. I had a tripod. Instead of showcasing the games, I had some recommendations of people saying, you know what, get a tripod, show the games. There you have it. This is John Hancock signing out. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.